Welcome back, everyone. Grab your popcorn because today's story is packed with shocking twists, emotional moments, and secrets that change everything. Let's jump right in. You know, I've been hooked on General Hospital for more years than I care to count, and let me tell you, nothing gets my blood pumping like watching those folks in Port Charles fall in and out of love. These days, it looks like some fresh romance is brewing, and I can't help but grin ear to ear thinking about it. The way I see it, things are about to get real complicated for a few folks, but that's exactly what makes this show so special. 1 minute you're rooting for somebody, the next you're yelling at the screen because everything's tangled up like a ball of yarn after the cat's been at it. Still, in the end, it usually turns out worth the ride. This summer feels like it's shaping up to be a hot one in Port Charles, and I'm here for every single minute of it. Take Nina Reeves and Jack Brennan, for instance. Oh man, I've got a good feeling about these two. Nina's always been a firecracker, strong, smart, and full of heart. And Brennan, well, he's got that mysterious edge that makes you lean in closer. Remember how Nina accidentally hit him with that injection? She could have made things a whole lot worse, but she didn't. She showed mercy. To me, that moment said everything. There's something real building between them, the kind of slow burn connection that sneaks up on you like a warm summer evening. Now, the writers have Brennan working some clever angles to help Willow, and I can already picture how they'll weave all that scheming into something romantic. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if we see a stolen kiss or even a tender moment behind closed doors before the season's over. I'm telling you, folks, that kind of chemistry doesn't come along every day. It reminds me of those old stories my grandpa used to tell about two stubborn hearts finally finding their way home. Nina deserves a little happiness after everything she's been through, and if Brennan's the one who can put a real smile on her face, then I'm all for it. Of course, nothing in Port Charles ever stays simple. These new romances always come with twists and turns that'll keep you guessing. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You get invested, you laugh, you worry, and sometimes you even shed a tear or two. I've sat in my favorite chair many an afternoon, shaking my head and chuckling at the same time, because deep down, I know these characters feel like old friends. I sure hope the summer brings more of these sparks flying. There's nothing better than watching love try to bloom in the middle of all that drama. It gives an old guy like me a little hope that no matter how messy life gets, the heart usually finds its way. What do you think? Are you as excited as I am to see where Nina and Brennan's story heads next? I know I'll be right here watching every episode. You know, I've been following General Hospital long enough to know when the writers are planting the seeds for something special, and right now, my attention is fixed on Lucas Jones and Joe Fitzpatrick. Oh, this one feels different in the best kind of way, and it's got me smiling like a fool every time I see them share the screen. Even though the show hasn't officially said much about Joe's personal life, a whole lot of us fans have been whispering and wondering if he might be the next man to win Lucas's heart. And let me tell you, from what I've seen so far, it sure looks like they're heading in that direction. They've started putting the two of them together in more and more scenes, and there's this quiet, gentle chemistry building between them that feels so natural. It's not rushed or over the top. It's the slow, sweet kind that makes you lean forward in your chair and think, now this could be something real. Of course, like everything in Port Charles, it's not going to be simple. Lucas is carrying some heavy secrets on his shoulders right now. He's still keeping quiet about Britt Westbourne, Ross Cullum, and that whole complicated synthetic chill project. That's a lot for any man to hold inside, especially when he's trying to move forward with his life. On top of that, he's still healing from the pain of losing Marco Rios. I've watched Lucas go through some tough times, and my heart goes out to him. Nobody knows better than an old guy like me how hard it is to pick up the pieces after love slips away. But here's the thing about these soap operas. They have a way of helping people heal faster than real life ever does. One day, your heart feels like it's been stepped on, and before you know it, a new face comes along. And suddenly the world doesn't feel quite so heavy. That's exactly what I'm hoping for with Joe. There's something warm and steady about him that makes me think he could be really good for Lucas. Lucas is such a decent man with a big, caring heart, and after everything he's been through, he deserves someone who sees him for who he truly is. I can already picture it, the two of them sharing quiet conversations, maybe taking a walk along the docks, and slowly letting their guard down. Wouldn't it be wonderful if this summer brings them that first sweet kiss, the kind that makes you believe in new beginnings all over again? I keep telling myself not to get too ahead of the story, because Lord knows Port Charles love never comes without its share of complications. But that's also what makes it so much fun to watch. You get invested in these characters like they're your own family. You cheer for them when they're happy, you worry when things get messy, and you sit there shaking your head with a little grin because you know the ride is going to be worth it. At the end of the day, I'm really rooting for Lucas and Joe. Love stories like this remind me that no matter how many times life knocks you down, there's always a chance for something good to come along when you least expect it. It gives this old heart a little extra hope. I'll be right here in my favorite chair, watching every episode and hoping these two get their shot at happiness. How about you? Are you feeling the same warm spark between Lucas and Joe that I am? I sure hope the summer in Port Charles turns up the heat in the sweetest way possible for them. You know, after watching General Hospital for as many years as I have, I've learned that the heart has its own timing, and sometimes it doesn't care much about what the head is trying to plan. Right now, my attention keeps drifting back to Elizabeth Baldwin and Dante Falconeri, and I have to tell you, there's something special brewing between those two that's got me feeling all warm and hopeful inside. Sure, Elizabeth is officially seeing Rick Lansing these days, but if you've been paying attention like I have, you'll notice she's spending more and more time with Dante. They talk, they lean on each other, and there's this easy, comfortable connection that just feels natural and right. It's not loud or flashy. It's the quiet kind of closeness that grows deeper with every shared look and every conversation. Dante's been through more than his share of hard times, losing people he loved and carrying the weight of that badge every day. And Liz, she's one of the most caring, strong women in all of Port Charles. She's raised her boys, stood tall through heartbreak after heartbreak, and still finds it in her heart to help everyone around her. Watching her light up a little when Dante's around just makes this old man smile. Now, Rick has always been a complicated fellow. He's charming when he wants to be, but that jealous streak of his runs deep. I've seen him sabotage good things before, and I worry he might do the same here. One wrong word, one burst of suspicion, and he could push Elizabeth away without even meaning to. But here's what really gets me thinking, maybe it won't be Rick who breaks things. What if Elizabeth herself starts feeling that stronger pull toward Dante? In a town like Port Charles, where emotions run high and temptations are never far away, it's easy to imagine her finally giving in to what her heart might truly want. I've been there myself in my younger days, trying to do the sensible thing while the heart whispers something entirely different. I really hope the writers let these two explore a real romance. Can you picture it? The two of them sharing a quiet evening after a long day, maybe walking along the docks with the lights of Port Charles twinkling on the water, slowly letting their guards down. A gentle touch, a heartfelt conversation, and perhaps that first sweet kiss that changes everything. It would be the kind of love story that feels earned. Two good people who've been knocked around by life finally finding someone who truly understands them. Lord knows they both deserve some real happiness after everything they've been through. Like my old grandpa used to say, sometimes the best love stories are the ones that sneak up on you like a warm breeze on a summer night. That's exactly how this feels to me. It's not rushed. It's growing naturally, and that makes it even more exciting to watch. Of course, nothing ever stays simple in Port Charles. There'll be misunderstandings, old secrets, and probably a few dramatic twists thrown in to keep us on the edge of our seats. But that's what makes this show so much fun. You get to care about these characters like their family, cheer for them when things look good, and hold your breath when the trouble starts coming. All these new romantic possibilities this summer, Nina finding something real with Brennan, Lucas maybe opening his heart to Joe, and now Liz and Dante dancing around these feelings, they're making this season feel extra special. The writers sure know how to stir the pot and keep us coming back for more. These stories remind me that no matter how messy life gets, there's always room for new beginnings and second chances at love. It gives this old heart a little extra hope on these quiet afternoons. I'll be right here in my favorite chair, sipping my coffee and watching every episode with a big grin. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. How about you, my friend? Are you rooting for Liz and Dante as much as I am? There's nothing better than watching two good people find their way to each other, even if the road there is full of those wonderful soap opera surprises.